say that like that.
Hey man, hey, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan, okay? I will ooze wherever I like.
This one drink that's not even bad, you won't drink. And I'm confused. I am in anger.
Good for you guys. I don't watch a lot of movies. I go outside. Okay?
Hello and welcome back to another episode. One second. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Too Many Words podcast. I'm your host, Isaac William Joseph. The guy touching me right next to me is my best friend, Jordan Van Cleve. And we have nobody in studio today, which is just fine because, you know, after... It hasn't been 2 weeks for you, but it's been 2 weeks for us. And boy, do we have a lot of things to talk about for episode 113.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
113. Wow. Okay, well, Jordan, how are you?
I am great.
Nice. Okay, cool. This episode has been brought to you by Miguel Myers, sitting here because it is spooky season. It's October. This is our first recording in October.
Yes.
But it's the second half of October for you listening and watching. But yeah. I
mean, this episode comes out next week, so.
What?
This episode comes out next Saturday.
Does it, though?
Not the next Saturday, but next Saturday.
Sure. See how confusing he is? Do you hear him? Do you
talking
hear him?
about?
He's crazy. But anyways, Jordan, first things first. Well, I guess announcements is nice. Oh, okay. Plug me in, Poppy. There we go.
Could have swore I did that already.
That's all right.
Like I distinctly
He just plugged
that.
my headphones in if you are only listening right now. But, dude, I feel so awesome right now.
You've had a lot going on in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
And I want you to try to keep it down to like 15 minutes, but I really want you to just take it away for the first half of the episode.
Well, I was going to kick it off with announcements.
Yeah. We still got to do our segments.
Announcements being, I want to add more details for what is to come with the new series that Vinny and I are in on, which is One Good Question. I see that we've accidentally made it seem so much bigger than it actually is, when it's really just 1 to 2 minute interviews. It's going to be awesome 1 to 2 minute interviews, but you guys might be still having to wait a little bit longer, maybe till November, till that series kicks off. Because how I like to launch a series is, I want y'all to have more than just one thing to look at. You know, because we can't just be like, oh, One Good Question debuts November 15th. And then you have 1.5 minute video. And you're like, oh, that's cute. Well, moving on with my life. No, I want y'all to get invested into what this series is and will be. I don't see that this series is going to be coming out on any regular basis, because it's really just going to be a situation where we interview people who are big names at conventions or wrestling shows or whatever it may be. It's event-based interviews, and so we can't really promise like, oh, every other Tuesday or something like that. We do want to get them out regularly, but it's not going to be set in stone on what sort of schedule it will be on. It's just this new series that is really fun and really flexible with the people that we want to have on camera. So yeah.
It is currently 9:02 p.m. It is Monday, October 7th.
Sweet. What's the word of the week? I knew I forgot something. That's what happens when you don't record for 2 weeks, man. Crazy.
I guess I'll go to the screenshot.
Go to the screenshot.
Well, I guess.
I
don't know if that's a L or an I, actually. So
hang
on. Well, don't forget the font is weird.
Let me see it. Yeah, I know. Lion eyes.
I'm gonna wait for this ad.
Lion eyes.
Oh.
Lionize.
I don't like ads. I would pay for this app if it wasn't like a monthly like payment, that was stupid.
Yeah, something like that should be like a one-time purchase.
Lionize.
To treat someone as very important, they lionize the local hero.
I lionize you, Jordan.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Dude, every milestone episode, I remind you that this is not a show without you.
Yeah.
Okay? If you decided to quit tomorrow, the podcast would probably eventually run again, but it would definitely take a hiccup. Tell you what. Podcast would probably start costing me money because I ain't doing all this. But yeah. Gonna start a podcast, call it Lingelbach.
All right. And so we have no new Instagram followers. We did Word of the Week. We're gonna skip side quests for now. It'd be what'd you learn this week? What are you doing?
You know, I didn't realize what I was doing until it was all the way down my throat.
Why do you do this so often?
I am so I'm on a seafood diet. I seafood and I just take it in, bro.
That's a liquid, not a food.
It's right there.
Look, you made Mikkel Myers upset. He's crying.
I'm so sorry. I will refrain. I didn't even taste it. I didn't even drink it. What are you talking about?
What'd you learn this week?
I learned that Chester Bennington was in, at most, at one time, 4 bands. 4 different bands, not just Linkin Park. And see, I made that funny observation. That's the factoid that good old Jordan told me the other day, because I just find it so fascinating that just like regular people, musicians have multiple jobs. Like, hey, this is my part-time band. This is my full-time band. This is my sometimes band.
Yes.
Like,
it is great. It is
it's
great.
so fun. But yeah, that's just what I learned this past week.
Yeah, Chester at one point was in Linkin Park, Stone Temple Pilots, Grey Days, and one other thing. It was... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Copyright.
Yes.
Relax.
Good thing we were talking over it. So, it's Dead by Daylight. No.
What? That's a video game.
Dead by Sunrise. Sorry.
Dead by Sunrise. Yes, sir.
That's what it is. Yes. That was his 4th one.
Yeah. So what did you learn this week, Jordan?
I learned that man, I had a really uneventful week. So like
it's been 2 weeks. Come on, you didn't learn anything.
You know, I feel like I learned something while you were gone.
That it's so much more peaceful. Right?
Well, yeah, like literally everything has been gone. So, because like we haven't had a dog, we haven't had a Jeezy, we hadn't had a you, and it was literally just me. Here's a good one. I learned living completely by yourself can be a little freaky sometimes.
We'll get into more of that in the side quest, huh?
I was gonna skip my side quest and have you just talk about all about your
then
weekend.
talk about your little thing that you learned.
Yeah, so I was by myself for 4 days?
Yeah, something like that.
And then 3 days again.
Yeah.
It was just a moment where like I just kind of started tweaking a little bit, started like freaking out, started hearing noises. I was getting spooked. Ooh. And I started locking all the doors and everything. I mean,
I'm gonna get a taste of that when you go on your trip early.
Yeah.
I'll start locking the door. Do you have a house key? Is that it?
I have one house key to the front door, to the handle.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just crawl through the doggy door every day.
I could just leave you the house key.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Wait, you're not going to be here when I get back, though.
Yeah, not exactly. It's going to be kind of freaky.
I'm not giving you the house key.
Well, here's the thing. That's also a new thing. That's something that I needed to tell you.
Okay.
So I have. Remember when you told me to ask my papa when the dates are for Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk into that into side quests.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that was the end of my adventure. By myself, it's just spooky sometimes.
It's just spooky
It's spooky.
sometimes.
It'd be get them lips wet.
It's time for the Get Them Lips Wet segment.
So, what kind of terrible beverage do you have with
This
us today?
week's episode is Casey's flavored water beverage called Up.
What's up?
Up is a zero sugar, vitamins added electrolyte water beverage. This is watermelon flavor for this week. And since I sucked on the nozzle, we could probably just take off the whole top for you to try it, sir.
Okay.
All right. Now, yeah. Say something funny, Jordan.
Man, we haven't actually said that in a while. So watermelon is melon and water, but in the form of a fruit.
Your jokes are, yeah. All right. Taste and test. Nicely
It's almost
done.
kind of spicy, but like,
You want to try it again, just for sure? Yes, yes.
it's really good.
Oh, really? The guy who doesn't like actual watermelon says this
Well,
is
that's
good.
because actual watermelon's bad.
Actual watermelon is not bad, sir. Do we
Watermelon
need to ask this,
flavored items are like some of my favorites.
Do we need to ask this again at the trilogy of Too Many Burgers? Do we need to bring it back and get a real sample size of it?
I don't think so. I just don't like watermelon. Like the fruit watermelon, I don't like it.
What is fruit that you like?
Oranges.
Okay.
Anything in the orange family.
So like tangerines and kiwis.
Citruses and stuff. I like citrus related
So
fruits.
grapefruit.
Yeah,
You like grapefruit?
I do.
Okay, now this guy's giggle weird. Okay.
I also like pomegranates. Cranberries are good.
But yes, the Up watermelon flavor has only 5 calories in a bottle. That's nice. I'm not seeing a crazy amount of ingredients. Water, citric acid, watermelon flavor, salt, sodium citrate, potassium citrate,
Fancers.
potassium sorbate.
Do we
What do you mean, Fancers? You barely even ranked the drink. We barely even talked about it.
Is
What
it
the
good?
crap?
Is it good? 7 out of 10.
What does it taste like?
Tastes like flavored watermelon.
Heck yeah. What'd you give it out of 10?
7 out of 10.
I give this an 8. Now, Jordan, you may ask, why are we drinking this very boring flavored water? It's a great question.
Why are we drinking?
That brings us into our side quests. Overall, this gets a 7.5, it seems. So, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good drink overall.
How does it relate?
Because I have decided to eat clean. Remember?
Okay, yeah.
And that's my side quest. I've been only doing it for like a little bit over a week.
Okay. What does that have to do with it?
It's a healthy drink.
It's just flavored water.
Yes,
Wouldn't really say it's healthy.
it's healthy.
I'd say it's a drink.
Jordan, what is a healthy drink? Is the only healthy drink on earth water?
Yeah. Maybe milk, but you can't have too much milk. Otherwise,
You know, something I'm starting to notice.
your body will actually start to reject it.
Something I'm starting to notice is that your opinions on what is healthy for you makes you probably think it's impossible to get into shape.
No.
I want you to know that you can drink more than water
I know.
in a healthy lifestyle.
I know.
This is a healthy drink.
It's healthier.
Sure. It's 5 calories.
It's like saying sugar-free chocolate's healthy.
This is nowhere close to that.
Okay.
I'd say a closer comparison would be skim milk, and even then, skim milk's healthier than sugar-free chocolate.
Maybe.
It is neither here nor there. I'm gonna keep doing me. You keep doing you.
Yeah.
You freaking mutant.
You're the one that's a mutant here.
How am I a mutant?
You can ask a lot of people. You're the one that's strange.
You're not strange.
Well, I am, but you're like...
Out of the two of us, I'm the weird one?
Yes.
No freaking way.
Fully, yeah.
Freaking way, dog.
I think you can ask nearly anyone in our friend group. Maybe not.
Well, that's because your whole friend group's weird.
Oh, yeah, but like...
They're all like you in some sort of way. I'm the most different person. You gotta ask somebody else.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
You used to collect pizza rolls around your office.
That was not my choice. They were planted.
That's something that who did? Your
Timothy.
friends? Your friends? Your very normal friends that are like you?
No, they're not normal. I would not do something like that. First and foremost.
It's whatever.
You're whatever.
But yes, I've been eating healthy for a little bit over a week, and
good for you.
I'm at 230. And if I lose just anything else, I will be sub 230 for the first time in 4 years since I was training for the military. And that's really exciting stuff because last time I was doing it so I can get a job with the military. And this time I'm doing it just because I want to be like a better person, like a healthier person. And so it goes from a objective to just what I do. And
let's be real here. What? Okay. You were looking at some old photos of yourself and you're like, man, I want to be that again. So you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to take on a new lifestyle. And, I think that's what makes it so hard for people to go on diets and stuff, because they think it's like a temporary life change, when really you really do have to fall in love with just new practices, like, yes, that does not mean you can never eat pizza and ice cream again. It's just that means you eat it less. You eat it less often. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the problem. I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, you're already on track. You didn't have pizza for lunch. You just had their garlic freaking thing.
No, I only
and their brownies.
I did not.
You ordered everything besides the pizza.
I had the brownie and I had the cheesy bread. That was it.
Oh yeah, your garlic butts are in
They're
there.
Parmesan bread bites. Okay.
Yeah, bread bites. Whatever. But yeah, honestly, what's so crazy, Jordan, is that I think there's like something in processed foods. It's probably proven. There's something in processed foods that I think makes you stay hungry. Because like on this diet, I felt or I expected to be hungrier throughout the day. And there's just been really days where I've just like eaten sliced zucchini that I've cooked up on the stove. And then I've had no appetite for like the next 8 hours.
It's because the amount of calories per like volume is less for healthier food. You got something in your mustache like right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right. Other side. No. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Okay. I don't know. Was that like a fuzzy?
I don't know what it was. It looked like a gray piece of rice.
All right. Anyways, yes, of course, there's less calories in fruits and vegetables, so you can eat in abundance and feel full. But like at the same time, like I didn't eat a lot of fruits and veggies that in this particular day that made me realize this. And I just wasn't hungry. It was crazy. Like at the church retreat, I skipped lunch both times. I was just not hungry.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, I've been losing weight. I've been getting stronger. I've been building my stamina again. I feel awesome, and I can't wait to see where it takes me.
He's going to be the greatest there ever was at running around the block.
Yes, I'm going to be the number one person at running around this exact block because Isaac's not built for long-term endurance yet for running. So I'm just going around the block, 2, 3 to 4 minute runs, which is all that my body can take right now because we're starting at level 0, really. But I did run a lot at the church retreat.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, dog. Like just casual running. And I didn't even feel tired from it. I feel like I'm getting really good.
Proud of you.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I want to point out in my other shade quiz. This is what day you said? October 7th? Mm-hmm. This is my last recorded episode as a 24-year-old. I will be 25 the next time you see me on screen.
Big old quarter century.
Shut up. Episode 112, where we review the movie at the Fleur Cinema, that does release on my exact birthday, but we don't talk about my birthday because we record in the future. No. We record deep in the past, actually. We record for the future. And so, telling the future audience, which is you right now, this is my last recording as a 24-year-old. You know what's wild?
What?
I will be 25 at the end of the week. I was 22 when we started this podcast.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. It's so weird to acknowledge those things. Like we have really just entered this threshold of just having a longevity podcast, and this is awesome, man.
Hey, man, I was 24, so
yeah. All right, and so bringing our next side quest, we have to talk about it.
What?
You called me at work and said you sent me a TikTok that I absolutely needed to see. And usually he oversells this because he does this almost not often enough to say often, but he does it at least
once every 3 months.
Yeah, once every 3 months.
I don't think
he
it's
calls
even
me
that
out of
often.
nowhere and he's like, Isaac, this is priority numero uno. You need to see the TikTok that I just sent you. And it's usually something stupid. But
I take offense to that.
This time, it was not stupid. Tell the audience, Jordan, what you sent me.
Well, there was a certain band that is on one of our wrists, not mine, one of our arms, I should say, that made a sort of announcement. It was a voicemail. Jesus, dog. Are you good? Are you thirsty? You went one after another like 3 times.
Continue your story.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm
okay. Good. Maybe slow down.
I love water.
I like water too.
Tell your story.
Okay. Yes, 3 Days Grace made an announcement about Adam Gontier, the original lead singer, coming back to be part of the band again. It was in the style of a voicemail of Adam calling Matt saying, "Hey, I'm going to be at the studio here soon. Just let everyone know." And they revealed a new 3 Days Grace logo and the title of the album, 2X.
3 Days Grace, 2X. What a more fitting title.
There isn't one.
That's oh my gosh. Things are really... This tattoo that you see on my arm here, if you're watching on YouTube, it is the 1X album cover. And now, if you look into it, there's not necessarily any specific meaning on the paper people. And so I put my own spin on it, and that's why I wear it. So it is only half because I love the band so much. The other half is my own meaning on the tattoo. If you want to know the meaning, you can come talk to me personally. But anyways, 3 Days Grace 2X. Basically just a musical continuation of the album 1X, which came out in 2006 or 2003, I don't remember. Either way, we were children who could not afford to go to any concerts like that. And so, therefore,
this one has to happen above all else.
See, I think what's the best part is that I will actually have money once this is the next opportunity coming. But yeah, people who don't know the names about like Matt Walst and Adam Gontier, stuff like that, but 3 Days Grace, let's just say, to put it in simple terms, the original singer of 3 Days Grace joined the current 3 Days Grace, which is with Matt and the crew, the old crew, the crews that's practically been there the whole entire time, literally been there the whole entire time. It's just this amazing reunion, but it's more than what they've already been doing, which is, just doing stuff together for a concert or something like that.
Yeah, they only did that once.
They're dedicating a whole new series of music with Matt and Adam. And this is stuff that
both of them as lead singers. So both of them front manning the band. So
that's the coolest thing.
Expect some crazy duets. Expect some I guess I'd say even solo songs from each of them on this album.
We've been praying on this one. Not
Expect,
literally, but like we've been.
I think I did once.
We've been wanting something like this to happen for so long.
Expect that crazy chemistry that you heard from the original Adam, days of 3 Days Grace.
It's gonna sound like original 3 Days Grace.
It's gonna be fantastic.
It's gonna sound like it.
So yes, we will be getting the meet and greet package with whatever tour date they eventually come out with for the Des Moines area. That is something that has to happen.
We're going to get the trio of photos.
Yeah.
We're going to get the trio of photos, which is how Jordan puts it, best day ever, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Which is, you go see 3 Days Grace with Matt, and then we go see Saint Asonia with Adam. And then we're going to go see 3 Days Grace with Matt and Adam. And that's going to be cool. That's going to be so good.
It's going to be crazy, especially if they recognize us somehow. That'd be insane.
Hey, I'm going to flash this tattoo, and they'll maybe. And I'm going to be like, "Hey, you got time for one good question?"
Yes, we got it.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be like probably a plain Jane question, but we have to ask what it's like to have this reunion of making new music and coming together with the best of both worlds, the original singer and Matt.
Yeah.
Or I ask him about his faith because he made a song with Skillet.
Hey man, it's your show.
No. The cool thing about one good question is the flexibility of hosts. Sometimes it's going to be Vinny. Sometimes it's going to be me. Sometimes it's going to be Marcellus. Maybe sometimes it's going to be you.
Maybe. Doubtful, but maybe.
Sometimes it's maybe Sime, but we give him a question to ask because he asks terrible questions. Dude, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He has some great, terrible questions.
He sure does.
But yeah, let's see. And my last side quest is Fall Retreat.
I'm gonna put the microphone down.
Why? You don't want to have a conversation with me?
If I decide I want to say something, I will. But I got a feeling you're gonna talk for a second.
So Fall Retreat. So I go to this church called well, I don't know if I should disclose a lot, but just know that I go
public church.
to, I guess it is very public, and I guess I'm very public about what church I go to.
And like you're also very public about your faith. So like,
That's not the hard
It
part.
almost I'd almost say it's encouraging people to go there.
You know what? That's good business. Anyways, I go to Keystone in Ankeny, Iowa, and that church has shown me how special it is to be part of a community. I had been going there quite inconsistently for a year, but just a few months ago, I was like, I really, really, really want to have more like-minded friends in my faith. Jordan's awesome. He loves Jesus. He'll claim Jesus till the day he dies. But I want some church friends. I want some friends that will go with me to church when I ask, hey, can you come with me to church? Can you come with me to young adults group?
I'll be honest. I don't like big churches. That's a big thing for me.
Hey, man, I didn't know how big this church was when Gary recommended it to me. I just went because
Gary
I heard...
also likes big churches, so...
Gary's part of a small church.
Well, okay.
Anyways, so I went a year ago, and I was shown to this awesome guy who showed me to a couple awesome guys, and I got connected into a small group. And then they kept on saying, oh, go to this thing called Salt. Go to this thing called Salt. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Where's the pepper?
I tried it a few times, It's something that you have to get used to when it comes to social anxiety. I don't think I have a lot of social anxiety anymore because you kind of have to run a podcast and be sociable, It's just that for the longest time I had not associated myself with quote unquote church people, right? But the really, really cool thing is that once you dive into that, these people are no different than you or I, and I'm not a stranger to the church. I grew up in a church. It's just, there's just like this stigma of, I had not been to a consistent church in a long time. I am undeserving of, I don't know, whatever kind of acceptance you want to put out, in the right combination of words. But it has truly been a blessing to go on this retreat because this was my first retreat ever. And it's my last retreat with Salt because I am so close to being too old for it. I wish I discovered it. Well, I wish I had given it a chance many years ago. I discovered the existence of Salt when I was 20, when my girlfriend at the time was going to go to Salt at ISU. And I just thought it was an ISU thing. And then I don't know how many years later I discovered that it was an Ankeny thing as well. But I just wish I had more time with it because my days are numbered, But I'm going to enjoy what I have left of it. But fall retreat, Jordan, ask me what fall retreat is.
What is fall retreat?
That's a great question. It's a retreat during fall. So we go to Dayton, Iowa at this place called Hidden Acres. And we basically just have an absolute blast. Here. I got the itinerary. Where'd it go?
I think you put it on the other lanyard.
It was on my keys. No.
You have multiple lanyards, and I thought you put it on.
No, I put it on this one. Oh, no.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I could have swore you put it on with one with words on it.
I'm sure. Well, it's either like around here or it's in the car. It's all right. Man, now I got to remember what we did. Gosh. I mean, I mostly remember what we did. But yeah, it's really awesome to go on your first retreat. There was multiple services, diving into the Lord, praying together, getting in a small your connect groups, and then going over the messages and praying together and stuff like that. And that's really special. I made more friends in this weekend than I had probably my whole first 8 months of going to Salt. And that is really special. I'm really committed to this church. I used to be so anti-American church. I really did, and that's what caused what?
Anti-American church?
Anti-American church, yes.
Okay.
I mean, ask Gary about the average American church. You'll understand why. But I just didn't really trust a lot of churches, I'm big on, a pastor who does a sermon and doesn't mention the gospel of Jesus. Pastor minus Jesus equals motivational speaker, okay? And they're everywhere, okay? You got Joel Osteen. You got that weird-looking old guy. What's his name?
Huh?
You get it if you know what I'm talking about, listener. But yeah, I was just really hesitant for a long time about really trusting any churches. I went to multiple churches, but that's what really kept me as a stranger for a long time at multiple churches. And that's really not what we are called to do if you are choosing this walk of life. I'm so glad that I have community. I'm so glad that I have friends that I can call or text about anything. Well, maybe not anything yet, but I just have this really sure feeling. Hope, she said something about she's like, I know it sounds corny, but they say that when you are really on the right path of life, that you feel it. And so I've been really feeling it. The fun half, I mean, the whole thing was fun, but the cool part of the retreat is they have this thing called CG Wars, which is Connect Group Wars, where one guys Connect group and one girls Connect group come together, make a team, and amongst 5 teams, they compete throughout the retreat. And so I was on Team Green, and we competed against Team Orange, Team Pink, Team Blue, and Team Black. And we were the smallest team. And I was like, man, some of these other teams are pretty stacked, bro. I don't know what challenges we have, but things are gonna go down, and I'm not too sure on if it's gonna work out. But it was really so fun from beginning to end. Even the salt day service before that on Thursday, people thought, I don't know, this was like one of those rare moments where I did something cool and everybody thinks it's cool, because we were playing Jeopardy and our team was doing really good. We got second ultimately, but someone said, hey, if someone goes and gets Luke some chips, they get 200 points. Yeah. And I was racing to the kitchen and I raced back, but my boy Sullivan, he kept up with me. He was ahead of me. He picked a better route than I did coming to the front of the stage because the whole pink team was in front of me. So I'm like, Kobe, and I shoot the chips across the team, and it lands in Luke's hands, bro. And I beat him by just that much, by like seconds, and it was crazy. And yeah, it was so cool. I got all the high fives, and yeah, I don't know. It's those rare occasions where I do something right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it started with that, and it ended with me making a hype video that apparently a lot of people like, and I'm really into that. Because we did so many challenges, there was this one game where we had a bunch of junk in the middle of the gym, and we had to go take turns running back and forth and grabbing junk, and the person with the highest value junk pile would win. We got second in that. There was also this giant rubber duck named Bobby.
Bobby?
Yeah, he was hidden around campus. Or the campgrounds, and the team that would find him would get an extra 100 points, and they did that about 4 or 5 times during the trip. And so we found Bobby at the very end, but it also did not matter because we won the CG Wars by 700 points. Second place was 700 points less than us. Third place was 25 points less than them. And I'm like, man, we had the smallest team, but we steamrolled. No offense to anybody that I truly am friends with on any other teams, but man, it is so satisfying knowing that this is going to be my only fall retreat. And we got the dub, bro. And so, yeah, I captured a lot of B-roll for our team, and it got 80 likes.
Yes, it did.
And a lot of people liked it and enjoyed it, and they might show it at the next salt service.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. People, like, there's this cool kid named Drake. He's awesome. I love you, Drake. He loves doing camera work, like cinematography stuff, but he doesn't want to be like a director or a writer. He just wants to be a camera guy. So he works for Keystone and their media team. Like, he's like basically the head guy because he's like the only youngster that does it. But there's people that are like, Drake and Isaac collaboration? You know? And I'm like, dude, I've been trying, bro, because it would be so awesome to have him on camera for just one of my stories, you know, one of my skits, something like that. Because that would be awesome. We love Drake a lot. But hey, shout out to the Green Beans for dominating the competition. You got, I got everybody's names. 1 second. Jordan, say something funny.
Waffles go in the toaster upside down.
Yeah, so shout out to Brad, Brody, Ben, Josh, Eli, Tivin, Trevin, Mackenzie, Ellie, Faith, Brooke, Jamie, and Kaya. Dream team right there.
That's great.
Look at the sound waves. That's so cool. Like naming all the names.
Yes.
But yeah, I had an absolute blast. You know, I can see my next chapter ahead of me. I'm thinking about doing this Gospel 101 thing where they teach me how to be a leader in Christ. And, you know, some people might say I'm already there because, I don't know, God's already putting people in front of me. You know, God's crazy sometimes like that, but you gotta do it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was my big ol' side quest, which is well in my life a main quest, but I just can't help but feel like so much joy, so much fulfillment. I love all those people, I really do, and I can't wait to make some lifelong friendships there.
Absolutely.
So Jordan,
hey, don't sit like that. Don't sit like that.
Well, I look less like a sloth.
Why?
Because I'm fatter than you.
Don't sit like that.
Why?
You're in front of Miguel Mars.
I am in front of Miguel Mars.
Oh my God, you killed him!
No, he fell over. He's very klutzy or whatever. So now is the meat and potatoes, sir, right?
Are you sure you don't want to do fancers?
Is there enough answers?
There certainly is.
Uh-oh, what happened? Did we get like a bombing of questions answered? All right.
Don't check the too many words one. Check the you one.
Why? Because you're going to do the too many words one?
Well, no, the you one has like way more.
Okay, well, then you go to the too many words page and you'll read those.
I'm sure if we did wait a little longer, we could get more, but I don't know if you want to.
I mean, this is what a jerk. I saw what Austin said.
Yeah.
We'll review the movie and then we'll do some fancers and we'll see if there's a couple more answers.
Because, like, I want to talk about more than just reviewing the movie.
Oh, what's that?
I want to talk about my thoughts as a Transformers fan.
Before or after the movie review?
I guess
I think it'd be appropriate to do after the movie review.
I see them as one and the same, but
Okay. All right.
what'd you do? He unplugged it somehow.
Whoopsies.
I don't know how you did that.
It slipped. I was worried about
It
that.
locks into place.
No, my hand slipped.
Okay, you're a nut. You know that?
I am a nut. We were all once nuts.
Okay.
All
Okay.
every last one of them.
Okay. That's okay. All right. Transformers 1. Me and Isaac went and saw that movie together at Flick's Brew House. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the process of getting ready to say something.
Here, let me put out some details. You keep doing your preface.
So this one is it's a new take, new director, new crew, new everything. All right. So it's very different from all the previous Transformers movies we've gotten, aside from maybe the original 1986 one. But like it's its own independent thing, and I think that's a good thing, especially for this. It works. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to be done.
I'm done.
Okay. So this movie, Transformers 1, directed by Josh Cooley, written by Eric Pearson, Andrew Barrer, and Gabriele Ferrari. A Ferrari worked on this freaking movie. That's crazy, bro. That's cool.
Vroom, vroom.
And, starring Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, and Scarlett Johansson, and Michael Key.
Isn't it Jordan Michael Key? No.
Michael Jordan.
Keenan Michael Key.
No. It's Michael Key, okay?
Okay.
Michael Key. But, yeah, Jordan, surface thoughts of the movie.
It's a great movie. You should go and see it. Definitely needs more viewership.
Spoiler alert, okay? If you have not seen the movie, you should probably stop listening.
I wouldn't say that. Right now I'm doing spoiler-free stuff.
Okay,
so.
spoiler-free analysis.
It's a good classic Transformers film. Something I would be perfectly comfortable with taking my 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7, anything up above that to. Really great way to get new people into the franchise. It's classic. It's a classic. It is. That being said, it's not my favorite.
All right. My spoiler-free analysis. This is an amazing movie. I loved just about everything about it. I think this is a movie that is amazing for the next generation of future Transformers fans.
Absolutely.
It's yet another different continuity. And so, it's going to be a different, it's going to be kind of a culture shock if they want to dive into the older stuff. But for people who are like 6, 7, 8 years old right now, this is something that could really just take off in its own lineage.
Absolutely.
For kids until they're like, I don't know, 19, 20. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really special. I know you and I talked about it, and I said that, it should be a standalone film. But if there is going to be other films, it's not for guys like you and me. It's going to be honoring the upbringing of keeping that Transformers brand up, which is, I'm excited to see them expand on it.
New films will be for the new fans.
Yeah.
And, I'm still going to watch them because, that's me. But, it goes back to the Michael Bay films. Those movies, they weren't really for anyone, honestly. But, they spawned a whole new generation of Transformers fans. And this movie is going to do exactly the same as that.
Yeah.
Original, we call them G1ers. It's kind of a derogatory term. Oh, well, get over it. Original G winners did not like the Michael Bay films. A lot of people don't, because a lot of them are not wrote great, and a lot of them have a lot of problems with them. I somewhat grew up with them. So I'm a fan of them. I enjoy them greatly. There are also other things that I think are just as good, if not better. So like I can see this new Transformers film being the next step, the next generation, and I got a really big feeling that's exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah. All right, now spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
All right, things we liked in this movie.
One of my favorite parts is the fact that they took elements of just about every single Transformers continuity, and that is something I really liked. That's honestly kind of about it.
Okay. Hitler doesn't like a good movie when he sees one.
The writing is really good. I guess that's also something. It's inspirational. The story it's trying to tell is good. But yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of elements that I loved about this movie, starting from the cast, to the story, to the... See, what's really awesome is that this movie is really good for people who are new at storytelling, if they want to get good at storytelling. I'm still kind of... I wouldn't consider myself a beginner at storytelling. I'd consider myself a beginner at directing and making movies and making skits. But this is something that people are like, okay, I want to start telling stories. How do I do that? Study this movie, because this is a prime example of the difference between what makes heroes and what makes villains. They say that the only difference between heroes and villains is how they react to what had hurt them. And obviously, this is an origin story about Megatron and Optimus Prime being best buds. Well, one thing that you and I obviously know, and anybody who knows a lick about anything about Transformers, knows that they're not forever besties. And so, it was really interesting to see something that needed to happen that would divide their beliefs. And so when it comes to storytelling and taking notes and studying, it is really great to find that within this story. The writing is so good in that regard. And the cool thing is that it's not going to be a super deep, artsy fartsy movie. You know, nobody's going to watch that and be like, this is cinema, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just a really solid telling of a story, and I really like that. So, Jordan, you take it away with parts that you did not like.
I did not like how some of the how they treated some of the characters. Orion Pax, the pre-form of Optimus Prime, was his character behaved a little too much like
Marty McFly,
but like Bumblebee almost, honestly, or even just too much like Megatron himself. I did not like. So they took the kind of role system where there's lower tier bots, middle tier bots, and then upper tier bots. All right. I did not like the fact that Optimus Prime and Megatron were of the same, like, I guess, career or job.
they were minors.
Yes. I am my preferred method is that Optimus Prime works as a data clerk or like essentially a librarian. and Alpha Trion is supposed to be, well, I guess not. I shouldn't say supposed to be. Is typically his boss. He's like the head clerk, the head data clerk, and Optimus Prime or Orion Pax is like his understudy, teaching him the history of the Cybertronians and Cybertron, and that's the way I like it. I do like having Megatron and Orion Pax be like best buds or even brothers, being cut from the same cloth. I do like that idea. But Optimus Prime or Orion Pax should be a bit more of a humble character, a very much so more humble character. He should not be arrogant and cocky like he was in this film.
What parts made him cocky?
Let's see. The big one that I can think of, is when he got them in the race, right? Mm-hmm. He just did it.
Yeah.
My typical Optimus Prime or Orion Pax would not have done something like that.
Be proactive?
Not be proactive. Would not have immediately shoved themselves into I guess danger, or
you see
shove
that
themselves
cocky?
into the spotlight just to feel something. That is typically a more of a Megatron type move.
You think that's cocky?
Sure.
Do you think they went into the race just to feel something?
That's what he said.
He had no foresight on what could be after that.
Well, he was looking to change things.
Mm-hmm. Optimism.
It's hard to describe exactly.
His whole character trait is optimism.
Yes.
Optimus Prime.
Yes. Believe it or not, there's actually no correlation.
Oh, but they made it so in this movie.
And I didn't like that.
Oh, I loved that.
But it's just the type of Optimus Prime that
you have to remember. This is young Optimus Prime. This is young Megatron.
Yes, I do. Isaac, look at who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I know exactly what kind of situation they're in, what kind of time era this is.
All right.
That is not how the Orion Pax that I like, that is not how I feel he should be behaving.
Okay. So you think he should be the same throughout his entire life?
No.
Okay, what do you think he should be? What should a younger Orion Pax be?
Orion Pax is humble. He is almost dorky and kind of a nerd. And Optimus Prime is still humble, but also stoic and what's the word? Brave. And
So it was not brave to shove himself into this race.
No.
Not brave?
No.
Okay. This is probably why you think I'm so cocky, because we have different views of what is cocky.
Yeah. You are. I'm be honest, Isaac.
I am a doer.
Isaac,
that was Megatron.
I'm be 100%.
And Optimus Prime being doers.
I'm going to be 100%.
Doing what they want with their life.
Thank you for interrupting me 3 times.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. You are literally the most cocky person I know.
The most cocky person he knows. That is crazy. I'm the most proactive person you know. That's your correction.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, Orion Pax would never be one to shove himself into the spotlight, going back onto that topic.
The spotlight of 100 and 300 robots, but yeah.
300,000.
A spotlight of 300,000.
Probably. I don't know. There's probably more than that.
There's a spotlight that exists amongst 300,000 competitors.
But like, it's just, Yeah, I don't know. I understand that it's supposed to be a young one, but that's still just not how I feel it should be.
Listen to this Gen 2 or whatever.
Not even that actually. So they stopped with the generation lingo after G2. But if we're being, I guess, accurate to generational gaps and stuff, it would be either Gen 3 or Gen 4.
It's been around for 40 years. You're Gen 3.
Well, I mean, like, never mind. Okay. I'm saying, well, so the original Transformers continuity is Generation 1. Then there was a Generation 2 continuity that was different toys and stuff. And then that's where it ended. They didn't do the Generation stuff anymore. But then there was the Machine Wars, and then there was, like, Beast Wars, and then there was Robots in Disguise. And then I came in when Transformers Armada started. That's besides the point. We're talking about the movie right now and what I don't like about it. Let's see. I also really didn't like. Someone else commented this on, I think, on another Facebook post I had seen. The Megatron arc happened way too fast. It was really rushed, especially at the end. It also felt incredibly forced. Because like at the beginning of the movie, Megatron was one of those ones that follows the rules. That's not a thing. That's not a Megatron trait, period. Megatron's never followed the rules. That's why he's the tyrannical lord. That's literally his title.
Even when he was younger?
Yes.
All right.
Why you say it like that?
Because I'm mad at you for calling me the cockiest person you know.
Oh.
That is bananas insulting, and that is incorrect. But it's your perception. It's your perception. That is your truth. I'm gonna let it be your truth.
I mean, okay. I mean, Syme's a second.
I want you to know that
placer.
Marcellus thinks the exact opposite, by the way. But anyways, continue.
Well, Marcellus doesn't know you like I do.
That's not true. Go ahead.
I kind of don't want to anymore.
Go ahead.
Okay. Where was I?
You hate the movie.
I don't hate the movie.
You hated the arc of Megatron.
Yes. Yes.
He does not follow rules even when he was younger and a good person.
Megatron was never a good person. Yeah, like that's
So he's always been the villain.
yes.
So they've never been friends.
So, okay.
So this is
Various
like the
different
first time they've ever been friends.
Various different continuities handle it differently. In Generation 1, Megatron was actually a rebel leader almost. And him and Optimus or Orion Pax never even had a relationship. Megatron was actually the one that shot and killed Optimus Prime because he was robbing the dock that he worked at. And
So yes or no, they've been friends before.
yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, so typically it's a political thing. So in I think the first time they did it was, I guess, Transformers the movie series, the Michael Bay films. They never really explored it in the films. It's just Megatron making offhanded remark, or maybe it was Optimus Prime saying, "We were brothers once," or I think Optimus Prime said, "I'm sorry, brother," or something like that. And I think it was in the comics, the tie-in comics for that, where they explored that a little bit more, where they were brothers in arms. They were both like soldiers fighting for the same cause, but then Megatron found some things that he didn't like, and he started doing some bad things.
So he was once an okay person.
Not necessarily. It's more like X-Men Origins Wolverine. right?
Sure.
Megatron and Optimus Prime is the nearly exact equivalent of Logan and Victor in that movie.
Okay.
Actually, it's remarkably similar. Wow. Thinking about it.
Anyway.
The second big one to do that was Transformers Prime, with them being friends, and that was because they both saw political injustice in the tier system. I think that was, or whatever system they had implemented in that the line continuity, and they both went to, or Orion Pack started admiring Megatron for taking a stand, but they disagreed greatly on how to handle things. Megatron wanted to be more tyrannical and more aggressive with it, almost. And so they both went to the Council of Leaders, and let's see, they both spoke to them about how to better move forward, and the Council of Leaders chose Optimus Prime to be the next Prime because of how he spoke, and with kindness, with courage. No, not courage. There was some other descriptive terms I can't remember. It's been a while since I went over that. But Megatron saw that as a betrayal of trust, and then started going on his rampage immediately after that, and like killing people or killing bots.
Back to the movie.
So Megatron was a little too much of a rule follower, a little too nice for me in this movie. And then it really seemed like it happened really fast where he started becoming not that. Sure, they discovered that the Sentinel Prime he had betrayed everyone, but he had really, in reality, done that before any of these bots were created. So Megatron should have had little to no emotional involvement with this.
That's incorrect.
How so?
Because from their perspective, it's brand new.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's the opposite of your point. You said, oh, but they've been doing this since before they were born, so they should really not have any emotional effect. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah. To them, it's brand new.
Yeah. So they're going to have emotions.
I didn't say they're not going to have emotions.
They're going to have strong emotions.
What I mean is, Megatron should not have been so pissed off about this, because it's the only thing he's ever known. Even if, like, I would understand being more pissed off if it was a situation where he was, like, brainwashed, where he had his memories removed, or something like that. But considering the fact that
he looked up to his idol for his entire life, and then it turns out to not be that.
I mean, yeah. I
You don't think that's big?
I've not stated this on the podcast.
That's like finding out wrestling's fake at 11.
I have been through a situation very, very similar to that, where I found out someone that I idolized and I loved greatly was not who I thought they were. I'm not going to elaborate on it at all, because that's a personal information thing that I want to keep private.
Did that person affect your life so much so that you could not transform into a tank?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Honestly, an equivalent of that, yes. But I'm not saying he shouldn't have been angry, but I'm saying it should have been more of a build up to that. It's more like, I don't know, is more like he instantly thought that he was better than everyone else. Which, I guess, sure. Maybe that was their way of kind of getting to the point where Megatron's kind of always not a great person. But but I don't know. It felt really forced. Specifically, I thought this during the movie. I think it was the scene where Sentinel had captured him and was brandished him with the Decepticon logo. And yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was that made me think, hey, that sounded really, really forced. Like they had him say that just to make it to that point already. That's what I mean by forced. I don't mean like he's saying that
I want you
forcibly,
to know
but
that my only thing that I did not like about this movie is the quick progression of him turning into a bad guy.
See,
I did think that it was rushed as well. I think that it should not have gone so strong in that direction. I think it should have not been obvious until the very end, or maybe even, if they want to make more movies, keep it mysterious. Maybe the full arc started at the beginning of the second movie, something like that. But have it be up in the air of, where's more Megatron's moral compass landing right now?
I actually agree with that so much. So I don't entirely hate this take. I just don't like it because of how rushed some aspects of it felt. Dude, if they had waited till the very end of the movie to maybe even suggest that he wasn't doing okay, or even just waited till the next movie to kind of show him not being great, I think it would have been way better.
Yeah. Or Megatron, straight up just freaking aggressively murders Sentinel, and then he acts like it's okay. He's still nice to Megatron and stuff, or not. He's still nice to Optimus Prime and stuff, but they're a little bit uneasy about how he just did that, something like that, and then roll credits, something like that.
I mean, I also feel like the immediate transition from Orion Pax to Optimus Prime was a little bit rushed too.
What are you talking about? I think there was at least 20 minutes of runtime between getting his powers.
I mean,
and
from that
the
final battle scene, right? I mean, from that. So there was a bit of runtime where he was a transformable Orion Pax and Optimus Prime. But I think it would have been a little bit better. Here's how I would have personally done it. Spaced out the story enough, made 3 films, made a trilogy, because I think trilogies are a perfect way to tell a long-form story and also be able to wrap it up in a nice, neat bow at the very end. I personally really like the trilogy idea. That's just a good thing I like.
So you think of 3 movies, right? There's such thing as 3 acts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's the same concept, same premise. It's just double that almost. So
it's actually triple, quite literally.
I guess yeah. But so I would have done the more early stages as just this first film. In the second film, Optimus Prime Orion Pax becomes Optimus Prime. Megatron realizes that Cybertron chose him. He gets a little upset about that. I think they probably should have still had Megatron kill Sentinel at the end of this first film. I like the idea of that you said of him just acting like it was okay. Excuse me.
This guy.
I like the idea of having a second film being, like I said, where Optimus gets the Matrix, and they kind of explore Megatron going down that darker path a bit more, and then a third film being the ultimate climax between the two of them, where essentially the war, the major part of the war. Either, I guess, you could have that third film be the entirety of the war and have it span over several thousands of years just with time skips and stuff. Because I like the idea of, at the very end of the third film, that's when they head off of Cybertron to go to Earth. Or, well, they don't know it at the time. But, yeah. I think that'd be a really good way to kind of end the trilogy, is just right there at that point.
I would have hated that.
Why?
A first movie where 90% of the time, or in what you explained, 100% of the time, they do not get their transforming powers. Yeah.
No, so I don't disagree, or I don't agree with that. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying I also feel that they should have had that from the very beginning. I don't like...
That gets rid of the entire story.
Of this movie.
Yes.
Which I already stated that it's not my favorite.
So you just didn't agree with the story. Just
So,
say that.
In the major, the big major comic book universe, the IDW comics that they
Comparing it to other
it now.
products in which that is the dumbest thing that you can do, because comparison kills, but we're going to compare it to absolutely everything else.
Thank you.
You know what happens to your own mindset when you compare yourself to others? Don't do that.
Not everything has to be about morality. Jesus, Isaac, come on, man. It's just a movie.
The movie's about morality.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right in that. But the tier system, the tiers is based off of what you turn into. They were like, well, if you turn into a mining machine, you're going to go be a miner. Megatron didn't like that, so he started killing people. That was pretty much what happened in the comics. Where was I going with that? You distracted me.
It's okay.
I
did that on purpose.
Okay. I guess I know why they did it for this movie. I get it. It's a great way to get a story, to motivate a story, but they're called the Transformers. They gotta transform. It's not the first time that the T-Cog has been removed from Transformers in other continuities. Like, that's been a reoccurring thing. But usually it's when it's damaged, or when it's been forcibly removed by government agents or things like that. But I guess I don't know. That wasn't my favorite way to motivate the story. I get it though. I get it.
What would you have done?
I would have done something similar to the comics I had stated.
All right.
I will say that that's probably not my favorite either. My main idea is
someone else's idea.
Essentially terrorist Megatron. That would, if I were to tell my own story, Megatron would be a terrorist.
Okay.
He'd be a terrorist that at like childhood age, Megatron and Optimus Prime were close friends, and they grew up a bit and grew apart, and Megatron went down a dark path, and Optimus Prime did not, or Orion Pax did not.
And Megatron got a twinkle in his eye when he saw two Transformers turn into a tower. That kind of terrorist, right?
I don't have words to say to that.
What do you mean?
I don't have words because I don't want to smile at that, because that was funny. That was funny, and I hate it.
Yeah? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh. No. There it is. Okay.
How have you not memorized those buttons yet?
It's been a long time since I used them, and I don't care enough.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm less mad at you now.
Good.
That's crazy.
But that is an actual thing. I like the idea of tyrannical terrorist Megatron. I think
Jordan loves terrorists. You heard it here, folks.
I think that's a perfect villain. Don't you agree?
None of us are perfect, Jordan.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the whole point of a villain is to be, quite literally the opposite of perfect. But like, there is such a thing as the perfect villain. The perfect at being not perfect. Those glasses are very smudgy.
Yeah, the lenses are just like stained or something.
What is it? Okay. Ultimately, the movie was still really, really good. I highly recommend going to see it. It needs more views. It needs more money. All right. I said that at the beginning of all this. It's just me, my personal taste. This is not how I would have executed it. But this is a new story to be told, and it's not my story. So that is... I can live with that. I'm still going to enjoy it. Okay, I still enjoyed this movie greatly. It's just like I said, it's just not my ideal. There's a couple things I just didn't like. What's next, Isaac?
Best scene. We're gonna
Best
skip.
scene.
We're gonna skip best shot, and we're gonna skip best line.
There was a couple really good shots, though.
Well, it's because it's animated.
Yeah.
But also, it's been about a week since we've seen it, so I cannot recall any exact lines from right now. So best scene. Please.
The best line is definitely Pedacitron. What the best shot for me is definitely when they finally get up to the surface of Cybertron, and you see this landscape, this like transforming landscape. Dude, that was great. That was cool. That was a really new take on Cybertron as well. That has not been something they had really done before. But I will admit I did kind of like it. What did you say?
Is that your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Oh, no. Favorite scene is definitely the final fight between Megatron and Optimus.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
The choreography was actually really good.
That's my honorable mention.
What about you? What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is when they find Alpha Trion, and that whole part where he's lore building and stuff like that. I really like that. Plus, his character design is really nice.
This is the worst Alpha Trion character design. I want you to know that.
No.
Not saying it. No. Listen to me, though. That does not mean it's bad. It's really good. I'm just saying this one is the worst.
No. It's one that you're not used to, sir. You gotta stop that. Cut that out. Difference between a Transformers fan and a casual.
You're still not understanding what I'm saying.
It's still good, yes.
No.
And saying that all the other character designs are just that much gooder. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. I disagree. I saw the other ones.
Did you really?
Yes, I looked it up when I wanted to freaking find a toy of it.
Okay. Sure.
I like this one. It shows that he's old.
They all show that he's old.
Yeah, it's whatever. Who says what the ramifications are for an old-looking Transformer? Rust, I guess. But yeah, I love that scene. So you said the best line is Badassatron?
Sure.
Badassatron.
In my opinion, this is one of my favorite Alpha Trion designs.
That is cool. Why is he hairy?
Because he turns into a lion.
But he's metal.
He turns into a lion, though.
I do love the red and purple. A lot.
My favorite is still going to be the original design.
If there's a toy of that...
There is. That design specifically is actually based off of a toy.
That's really cool.
It's really hard to get.
I loved this character design, though, in the movie. And so I like that.
See, that one's my personal favorite. That's just... It's classic. It's
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like the bulbous look of this.
Yeah, something that I did want to say for best
that one's also really
line
cool,
is it's not funny. About the cog in your chest, but the spark in your heart or something.
That one is really good. That is really good. That what drove me. That derived a lot of inspiration from those comics because I don't know this for sure because I've not read the entire series, but I feel like that's something that was said in that because, I told you about the whole premise of it being a class system of like what you turn into, and your cog determines what you turn into. So, kind of makes sense for that.
So Jordan,
Yeah.
give this movie, best acting, best voice acting.
Lawrence Fishburne did do really good as Alpha Trion. I'll admit he sounded old and wise, so that one's really good. But I think the actor that I thought enveloped the role the most,
I'm gonna give it to Michael Key.
he did good. I think it was Scarlett Johansson.
Nice.
Like, I actually think, like, when she was speaking, it really felt like Alita was speaking.
Yeah, she was good.
So I think she deserves it for me. I don't know. Michael Key is he just kind of plays himself. Just about everything he does. So for me, it just kind of seemed too much like him. Which, I mean, there's nothing entirely wrong with that. Bumblebee is supposed to be
I don't like that Bumblebee is cussing.
He said badass.
Yeah. It's not the fact that there's cussing characters. It's the fact that it's Bumblebee.
Bumblebee has said a lot worse things in the Michael Bay movies.
No. The radio has said a lot worse things in the Bumblebee car. Okay.
So, okay. He did call Sam an asshole once.
This is
in Bumblebee voice.
This is why the Transformers episodes go so much longer.
We're actually right on track.
No, we're not. You think we're going to wrap this up in 4 minutes?
Yeah, we're almost done.
With the movie?
Yeah. What else is there?
Fancers?
How long is that going to take? 12 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on.
Score this movie out of 100.
Well, I'm gonna give it a real good score of 84.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say 84 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I do highly recommend this.
I
for
think
new
that's
fans.
happened before with a Transformers movie, where we've said, like, we've reviewed it in completely different ways, but we've given it very similar scores.
With Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, I remember in that movie review I said, as a film nerd, this movie is bad. That's why I gave it 2 different scores in that movie review.
84 for me. But yeah, time to calculate.
Let's do some math.
Well, let me 1 second. I got to erase the previous movie stats.
Once you figure that out, I will be talking a little bit more while you do that.
Yeah.
So, it took a lot of inspirations from the movies, the Michael Bay movies. I will say that too. So I didn't hate that. It brought in a lot of fan favorite characters that hadn't really been in anything else. Like Arachnid, she had only had one other appearance in the entirety of the franchise, and that was in Transformers Prime. She was inspired from a character named Black Arachnia, but this one was different. It was a new character, and I'm really happy that she got more spotlight because she is a really good character. You ready?
Yeah, it is a good character. All right, 8 or no, 10.
Frick. Okay.
Plus 7. Plus 8. Plus 7. Plus 7. Plus 10. Plus 9. Plus 9. Plus 8. Plus 8. It's an 83. That's awesome.
Wow. That was good. That was a good one. That's a really good one. You could probably change one of those scores to just one higher and probably still be pretty comfortable with it.
I'd probably put cinematography at an 8.
Oh, you put that as a 7?
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely give it an 8. Because sure, it's an animated CG, whatever you want to call it, movie, but I think
it's still a beautiful movie.
I think there's still cinematography in those movies. And
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, just change cinematography to animation. It's the same kind of deal.
Yeah. I didn't really care for the character designs in this movie too. That was another thing. I think Megatron's tank looks weird, and Optimus Prime's truck
It did look weird.
looks weird as well.
There's like no explanation for why it's a semi too, because like that's like an earthly thing.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's definitely a Cybertronian truck, but so it gets a pass on looking weird. It just still has to look cool. I don't think it looks cool.
Yeah, it looked like Little Tykes-ish.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I remember when we first got the images of it, and I was like, "That looks lame." But people are loving it apparently, and I was like, "Ah."
Let's go straight to Fancers, baby girl. You get on the Too Many Words page. I'll get on. Oh, did you do this?
I did.
This?
Yes.
I hate you.
Well, so I did it because the banner was still the Too Many Burgers poster. And I was like, that bothers me. So I changed it.
Simple question for my friends. This is our week's Fancers, folks. If you had the chance to go back and tell your younger self to avoid one thing, would you take it? Would you, Jordan?
Yes.
I would not. What would that thing be?
I am not going to disclose that information.
Oh, okay. I would not change a damn thing about what my life has been because of how good my today is. I love everything about my life. And if I changed a single thing back then, it would not be this life. And so therefore, I would not change or avoid or make better anything because I'm in a good place. You know, there's a lot of wants. You know, I want to be a director. I want to have good money. I want to have a wife. I want to have a family. Stuff like that. But all those things are coming. And I am so joyous and so fulfilled on this day that it makes everything that I've gone through worth going through. That's just what I meant. Let's get into it. Deb Baker Belcher says, yes, I would. Austin Buckner says, yes, I would tell my younger self to avoid Isaac William Joseph at Des Moines Con. 2023. Corey says, nah, not much I've done, but that I super regret. Yeah, I do wish I wouldn't have done some stuff, but sure. But it shaped me. Maybe like avoid some of the unhealthy things, sure. But even then, not so bad. Pastor Debbie, love Pastor Debbie, a.k.a. Nana.
The Nana.
Yes, there are people I would tell myself to avoid in a couple of jobs to say no to. Oliver Powell says yes. Jackie Powell says probably not since it would alter my whole existence. Dusty Zebert, my mother, says yes, bad influences. Evan Whitkey says absolutely. Sherry Shank says yes. Melanie says other people's opinions / unsolicited advice. Samara Vega says yes. Susan Ruggles says no, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be because of everything, good and bad, that I've done or been through.
On the Too Many Words podcast page, Hope Jakes says, what has happened to me has shaped me. The things I have experienced for better or for worse, I would not go back. It's why I am who I am today. Then Benjamin Yitter commented a GIF on that of a guy pointing up at it.
His agreeance.
Yes.
Yes.
Vinny Cataldo says, in a heartbeat. And Deb Baker Belcher says, yes, again.
Thank you, Deb, for commenting on both posts. We love you so much. All right, that has been this week's Fancers. What's the question of this episode, sir?
Who's your favorite 24? No,
we've already done that one.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Derek being a real one and saying Starscream.
Ooh, I got a good one. What's your favorite camp memory?
Favorite camp memory?
Yeah. Or like, what's some cool you did at a camp, or like, yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, I guess that's relevant. I just got done from fall retreat, and you're about to go fishing.
Yeah.
So yeah, favorite camp memory. I won't
Our favorite
ask that.
thing to do while camping.
I'll wait a couple days to ask that one since I literally just asked that one. So yeah,
Just don't forget.
remind me.
Okay.
Favorite camp memory. All right.
All right. Well, this has been this week's Too Many Words episode. Thank you all for watching or listening. We love you. Mwah.
Jordan, who or what do you dedicate this podcast episode out to?
This podcast episode goes out to Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen has nothing to do with this episode.
Without him,
You're going to treat Chris Hemsworth like the new band singer? Is that what
Yes.
you're doing? You're
Yes.
just dismissing him?
yes.
Why?
No, I'm not dismissing him.
All right.
He played the role he fit in the role he played. Yeah, something like that. As a less grizzled one. But, Optimus Prime wouldn't be who he is today without Peter Cullen. So.
Peter Cullen, I could beat you in a foot race.
Oh, yeah, he's like 80.
So, my grandma's 84.
Smells like a cheater.
She can run.
Okay. Who or what do you dedicate this podcast episode out to?
I dedicate this podcast episode out to Brad and Brody for being the coolest connection group leaders ever. I can't
Love
say
you guys.
ever. That would probably hurt Brady's feelings. Everybody has salt, okay? You know what? Let's just go over this one more time. Who is this? What's this episode dedicated to? Well, give me a second, baby girl. Okay, you are the rudest person ever. This episode goes out to my green beans, bro. Goes to Brad, Brody, Ben, Josh, Eli, Tivin, Trevin, Mackenzie, Ellie, Faith, Brooke, Jamie, and Kaya. You guys are awesome. Y'all the best. Go green beans. Small in numbers, big in spirit. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, amen.
1, 2, 3, amen.
Amen.